Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today and get your print on.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here with contestant Dan. Dan, welcome to Bachelor Happy Hour. How are you?
Thanks, you guys. I'm doing great. How are you?
We're good.
We're good. How you feeling? How you feeling with everything so far?
You know what? It's just been a great run. I've been having a ball. So thanks for asking. Yeah, the guys are great. Joan's amazing. And I'm just having a ball here.
All right. So let's start from the beginning. Where do you live and what do you do?
Sure. I live in Naples, Florida, which is on the Gulf side of Florida, straight across from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, to put that into perspective. And so I'm self-employed. I do my own investing and a little bit of consulting and work with startups. And I had a business for 28 years in Kansas City and then moved to Florida 6 years ago and doing my own thing now.
So you're a private investor.
Yes.
How do you feel about Bitcoin?
I trade a little crypto and keep my eye on it. So, it's a volatile thing and it's fun to watch. So I always say you have to have the stomach for it because there's high highs and low lows. So be careful.
Definitely. We actually we were going to go to Naples over Christmas, but now we're actually going to Costa Rica.
Yeah. Our family friends of ours, they have a place in Naples. So my parents go there a lot. Yeah, I've been there once or twice. Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Sure.
What's the main street that you want to be by where all the restaurants are? Was it 8th Street?
Fifth Avenue.
Fifth Avenue?
Fifth Avenue.
Right.
Isn't there's a bar there called like the Blue Martini?
Okay, that's at the Mercado, which is a higher end shopping dining experience, if you will. It's very nice. Yeah, the Blue Martini is there.
Okay.
And you're from Kansas City?
I lived in Kansas City for 28 years. I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa, and went to University of Iowa and worked in Des Moines for a while, moved to San Diego and lived there for 4 or 5 years. And when I was 30, I moved to Kansas City to start my business. And then 28 years went by and it's a great place to live. I do call Kansas City home. Des Moines has a special place in my heart. And I'm fortunate to have good friends in Southern California and now South Florida. So I've moved around a little bit.
You've moved around a lot. Is Kansas City your favorite out of everywhere you lived?
Well, it's hard to beat Naples. Come on, but Kansas City has soul, man. That city is united, and of course the Chiefs have been on the roll the last couple of years. I was a season ticket holder for a long time there, as well as the Royals, and so my parents live in Kansas City still. They're 89 years old and doing great. So I get back there frequently. So both my daughters were raised there too. So
that's what I was going to ask you. So you're a Chiefs fan?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's a good time to be a Chiefs fan.
Yeah. It is. I went through a lot of the tough times too, Serena. So it's fun these days.
I heard their stadium. I don't know how true this is, but I've never been to a Chiefs game. I'm a Chicago Bears fan, but
I gotta love the Bears.
Yeah, I heard Kansas City Chiefs have some of the best food. That stadium.
Well, if you like barbecue, for sure. I mean, that city is a barbecue town, and so that's the backbone of at Arrowhead there. But there's always plenty to eat, and then it's a huge tailgate experience too. So the Royals ballpark, the K we call it, or Kauffman Stadium, and then Arrowhead, where the Chiefs play, are in the same. They share the parking lots, so there's a huge parking area which provides great tailgating there. That's always a lot of fun.
I've never tailgated.
Oh, no.
It's not a big thing in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have as much football culture, so I really want to go at some point.
Tailgate?
You should.
Yeah. I feel like I would like it.
Chris
would.
Bukowski tailgate.
I know
all the time.
our friends Chris and Anna, who also are from the show, they're big sports fans, big tailgaters, so maybe we'll go with them. But you said you have 2 daughters. Where are they located?
So my oldest Danielle lives in Tampa, Florida. So I get to see her frequently now that I live in Naples. I'm about 2.5 hours drive from her and my granddaughter, Ava. And then my youngest daughter, Jacqueline, and her husband, Ryan, live in Anaheim, California.
Did you watch the show with them, the premiere?
Yes, absolutely. So I actually watched in Anaheim with my daughter and my son-in-law and some of her girlfriends. It was exciting. Yeah, it was fun.
What do your daughters and your family members, your parents, what do they think of all of this?
Yeah, so my daughters actually signed me up, like some of the other guys.
I was going to ask. I was going to say, how did you get on? Go ahead.
Yeah. So they when they were watching the Golden Bachelorette, and I used to watch the show with my daughter. I was a single dad for many years. And so that was something we did. And then when my youngest went to college, I kind of got away from it. And they said, Dad, you need to watch this Golden Bachelor series, last fall. And so I watched it. I got into it. It's such a different experience from you young people. So, that's fun to watch, but we're, I don't know, a little tamer, I guess. And, but it was, I've made good friends on this show, but for sure. And, already, but they came down Christmas morning with the laptop and said, okay, Dad, we're going to sign you up for this Golden Bachelorette. I'm like, oh my gosh. And, I said, nothing's going to come of that. So, and here I am.
Wow.
Here you are. Wow.
Yeah. So they're super excited. We've just had a lot of fun with it. My sister, my brother, and friends and family, everybody's been having a good time with it. And as you guys know, it's fun to make people happy when they see me make a fool of myself. So
yeah, it really does bring kind of community together. It allows you to reconnect with people, and I'm sure people are just so excited to watch you every Wednesday on TV. It's like a whole activity.
Yes. Yeah. Lots of watch parties, viewing parties. And so I'm hearing from a lot of people I haven't heard from in a long time. And that's part of the connection experience too. It's been great.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Watching the Golden Bachelor. What did you think of Joan?
Joan was a great story, and she's a great person, first of all. And, my heart went out to her when she had to leave. I could just tell that was a struggle for her and for her family, too. But it shows her character, and I respect her so much for making that difficult decision. And now that I'm here, I understand how difficult that decision was, but absolutely the right one. And I respect her greatly and admire her for that.
How do you feel about bunk beds?
So I'm in the room with, there's just four of us. And so we did rock, paper, scissors to see who drew the only top bunk. And that would be
you. Really?
And so, I don't mind climbing the ladder every night. So, and in the morning, so it's been fun. It brings me back to my fraternity days, and we do nothing but laugh, and it's a unique experience at this age for sure.
Do you have to get up to pee in the middle of the night? Because at my age, I do. Yeah. I said I get up twice.
I think CK is in the bunk underneath me. I hope I didn't wake him up too much or anybody else. But yeah, we all did. So
the thing is he's not going to complain about it, because then you can be like, all right, well, why don't you take the top bunk and I'll take the bottom bunk?
Yeah, right. It goes both ways, right?
We were in Chicago. We stayed by my parents because we had a wedding, and I got up in the middle of the night to pee, but I was really tired, so instead of standing up and pee, I was sitting down. And then Serena didn't realize,
the light off and the door open.
Serena didn't realize I was in the bathroom, and she opened the door. She screamed. I was like, I'm just peeing.
Well, no, I wasn't expecting anyone in there. I mean, you weren't in bed, but the light was off, and I don't know, I was half asleep too. You scared me so bad.
That's love, man, right there.
Yeah.
The all-electric
range, safety featuring ambient temperature,
your dating life, your diet, the nutrition, and lifestyle. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering
time, resources, and
foursome. Yes.
How is Greg's?
Let's create.
Are you in the room with Greg? Are you in the room with Greg? Because I know his
yes, Pascal, Greg, CK, and myself is our fearsome foursome. Yes.
How is Greg snoring?
So yes, Greg is awesome, and he's fast becoming a good friend. So Greg's snoring I would say this to him if he was sitting right in front of us here too. He knows this. It's like a thunderstorm. So it starts with like this rumbling, and then all of a sudden, bam, he breaks into this explosion. And so it's a bit startling. So we didn't give him too much of a hard time. We all have fun with each other, but he was kind enough to go sleep downstairs if it got too rough. And so poor guy's been on the sofa a little bit down there, but
oh, Jesus.
It's loud. It's loud.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do when it comes to the snoring.
Yeah, no, we all have our moments too. I snore a little bit. So, can't point the finger.
All right, let's go back a little bit to limo entrances. So when you step out of the limo, what was going on in your mind? Are you like, I can't believe I'm here?
Yeah, that's a lot of it. Surprisingly to myself, I wasn't nervous, but I would call it a state of shock. And so when I made my exit from the limo, the first thing you see is Joan in this magnificent blonde in this gold sequin dress, and all the cameras and lights, and it's really our first exposure to this, and there's no do-overs. And so, I made it through that, but quite frankly, it took me a few hours to even remember. I'm not sure I even introduced myself when I was up there, made it through my little shtick. And, but yeah, when I got inside the mansion, then it was, I kind of had to replay it in my head to see how that went all down, but it was exciting. It was fun. And a crazy moment for sure.
That's normal though. Like I feel even when I went through it, like most of the guys were like, I blacked out during that. Like I don't remember. I don't exactly remember what happened.
I remember I did a stepping stool for my entrance because the Bachelor on the season I was on was super tall and I'm very short. And I remember practicing it in my room over and over with one of the producers, but we didn't have a stool, so I was using this massive chair. So I just kept stepping up and down on this chair. So by the time I got to the entrance, I was like, okay, you got this. I've been doing like, what is it called? Like step-ups on a chair all afternoon, ready for this moment.
Yeah, you got your workout in.
Exactly, yeah. So how was night one? Was it what you expected it to be? Was it not? I know it's very long.
It was a long night and morning. And it was, the adrenaline kept me going for sure. And I think with all of us there, and I don't know how Joan does it. I mean, she's been going 100 miles an hour even before we got here. And so I know that was a marathon for her. I just came with an open mind. And so not really knowing what to expect other than what I've seen on the show. And, but it was really an opportunity because of the length of that to have some conversations with each and every cast member and get to know them. And so we were all excited and a little bit bewildered and just joking and having a good time. So it was good.
Who did you connect with that first night out of the guys?
So really, Greg and I hit it right off, and we've talked about that today even. It's I don't know what it is. We just are like-minded. So Greg and I hit it off. CK and I were getting mic'd up at the same time, and Charles and I had an immediate connection that way. It's funny, I sat on the bus going to the mansion and to get before we got in the limo, and I was sitting next to Keith, and within 15 minutes, we found out we were in the same fraternity, different schools, both Big Ten schools, Iowa for me, Purdue for him. And so we're brothers in the bond that way, and we just hit it off immediately. But everyone here is an amazing individual, and so I expect to go into deeper relationships with all the guys as we move ahead.
Does it feel like you're back in a frat?
It kind of does. Yeah. That was a long time ago, Joe, but it's kind of that kind of vibe. Yeah. Cause we bust each other's chops. We joke around. And then we've had some serious conversations too. So I'm looking forward to all of the above.
That's gotta be an exciting feeling. Like to go back and probably lived like some of the best. That was probably some of the best times in your life.
It sure was fun. It's a little different, 35 years later.
Yeah. Yeah. You're so, back then you were pissing because you were drunk. Now you're pissing because
there was some beer available to us. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to this week's episode. We'll go to the talent show because that's really when we get to see you and we see your talent, and you talk about you have a tremor in your hands.
Yes.
Like for me, honestly, I hate talent shows. I would hate to be in one. I would be so embarrassed to be up there.
Joe has very bad stage fright.
What's your hidden talent, Joe? Come on.
Nothing. I'm an untalented man. I don't have any talents. So
Come on, Serena, tell me.
He's very talented. You know what your hidden talent is, which you wouldn't be able to really show this, is you're incredible with facial recognition. But you can't do that at the talent show.
Yeah, I'm also funny and.
Okay, well, you're the one who said you weren't talented. So no, you're very talented.
Were you nervous at all going up there?
When I decided what I was going to do for the talent, and I thought this is just going to be way out of my comfort zone, but I kind of wanted to show the lighter side of me because it's a big part of my personality, and I felt like some of the interviews and were very serious. They're serious questions. And so it was an opportunity to kind of let loose and let it go, but it was way out of my comfort zone. I can tell you that. And I really didn't know what I was doing. And then I thought, I think I even use these words. I'm a confident and centered person. I'm not really nervous in general, but it appears I am because of this. It's called an essential tremor. Mm-hmm. And my grandfather had it. My father has it. Nieces. It's a hereditary thing, and it's just a little bit of a tremor that. And so I thought, well, I was channeling my inner Will Ferrell from Old School when I saw those sticks with the flags on or the ribbons on it. I'm like, I gotta do this, and I go, it's perfect for me because my hands are shaking. I'm going to be whipping these ribbons around. It's perfect rather than trying to do something else. So I use the opportunity to talk about what the tremor is, and since then a couple of guys on the show even said I've got a little bit of that too, and so hopefully it helped. Those stories help somebody else.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Were you nervous before you got going? Because I feel like when the music hit and you started waving the ribbons, you exuded so much confidence. But right before that all started, when you're talking about your tremor and you first get up there, did the nerves hit?
A little bit, yeah. Again, I surprised myself. It was a little bit like I was more in shock, because I didn't know there was going to be a crowd there. And of course, Joan and Jesse and the judges, and it... so it was all, and then all my castmates sitting there too, and so I was a little nervous and just took a deep breath, and it seemed like I had to wait forever for the music to start, and then it felt like it would never end. So, yeah, it's like in my head, I'm going, okay, that's enough.
Serena, have you ever seen Old School?
I think it's the House Party movie, right? Yeah. We watched a little bit of it. Actually, might have watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm
not
sure.
That's just a great movie.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the best of all time.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good one.
What's the actress in that? Who's plays the girl?
Ellen Pompeo.
Ellen Pompeo. Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you end up winning, Joan. You end up winning, and I want to hear your thoughts on that. But who did you expect to win? Was there anyone that really shined besides yourself?
Everybody. I watched that afternoon or that morning prior. Some people were writing poetry and writing songs and lyrics and actually putting the music together. This incredible talent. So I really was kind of expecting Greg. He's a funny guy anyway. I think he's hilarious, and he had a stand-up comedy routine, and I thought he crushed it. And I just thought I was going to be ridiculous. So I wasn't even, when they were announcing who was going to win, I was just completely shocked when Joan called my name. So that was fun.
You know what? You're the only one that channeled their inner Will Ferrell.
That seemed to work.
That was it.
Impressive balance of all factors, including
built for code and trained on a
much more fun because I can listen to music and really escape. It's Lab's first ever swipe and touch controls. How old were you when? So then you have a conversation because you get some one-on-one time.
Yeah, that was great.
With Joan. I want to talk a little bit about how, at what age, how old were you when you got diagnosed with 6 months to live?
So, yeah, my story on that is I was diagnosed with diabetes when I was 54, and I couldn't get it under control. And so I went to Mayo Clinic, Rochester, Minnesota, for a week to see with the intention of trying to sort this all out. And while I was there, massive amounts of tests over multiple days, and they found that they think that I had it undiagnosed for about at least 10 years. And so all my organs were failing. You know, I had a heart condition. My liver wasn't functioning properly. My kidneys weren't functioning properly. My whole endocrine system was not working. And so my body was shutting down. So Mayo made some suggestions. I started taking insulin directly instead of a pill form of diabetic control. But I tried that for a couple of years, and it was just a slippery slope. And so when I was 56, 2016 really was 15 and 16 were rough years. And at some point in 2016, my doctor in Kansas City, everything was failing so bad, and that he said, we need to get you on an organ transplant list. And, I asked the question, what's that all mean for me? And he said, I think you got about 6 months approximately, and you should get your affairs in order. And, when you hear those words, it's ominous. We've seen movies and et cetera, and know people that have been through suffering in those kinds of circumstances. And so my first thought was, I'm ignorant to this. I need to figure out what I need to do. I'm not ready to go yet, but at the same time, I need to prepare myself financially. I had multiple businesses, multiple properties, and I needed to start divesting myself of all those things. And in the meantime, too, I was not in my right head either. There's something called hepatic encephalopathy, which is much like CTE with football players, concussive traumatic encephalopathy. So my brain was not functioning all the time properly too. So it was a very, very challenging time. And I was fortunate to have good doctors, family and friends that helped me. My daughter's youngest had gone to college, and my oldest was in Tampa and had a career going and a child of her own. And so I needed to get out of everything and just focus on getting better. And it was a slow climb out, and eventually never got transplanted. I was able to turn everything around, but it took me probably till about 2 years on the flip side to get back to a decent place where I could function even. So very blessed and fortunate to be here, and I savor every moment.
Wow, that's crazy.
Sorry.
No, you go first.
Yeah. Okay. So the 10 years where this went undiagnosed, or you weren't really treating the diabetes, did you feel yourself declining?
Oh, not really. I was powering through it. Looking back, of course, Joe, I know I recognize the symptoms now. But at the time, I just, it's a slow decline, and then it's a fast decline towards the end. So I just kept shaking it off. I had too much. I was too busy to be sick. I had too much
that's what I was going to say.
do.
Did you just assume like I'm getting a little older and I'm just working so much? It's just work.
I knew something was wrong, but I just needed to power through it. I had a lot of people that were dependent on me and pushing me to do things that I'd done normally for all my life, physically and mentally. And it's a tough thing to admit. And I didn't understand what was happening either. I didn't understand it. So I just kept powering through it. And that's never a good idea.
Wow.
So when the doctor gave you 6 months, how long was it from that diagnosis until you were in a place physically where you were like, okay, I've got this under control, I'm going to make it?
I was on the transplant list for 2 years from that time, and learned a lot about that process, which was, it's not like going to a deli and pulling a number, you're next, number 15.
Yeah.
Your liver's ready or your kidney's ready. And so I learned a lot through the process, but those 2 years were a struggle, but it was really about a year till I felt, after that terminal diagnosis, that I really felt like I could move around and function. So a lot of time at home.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was training for COVID.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then COVID happened. Wow. That's an incredible story. Well,
thank you for asking it. I'm happy to share it if it helps anybody else, because it's about education and listening to your body and doing something about it.
How does that affect you on a day-to-day now today?
Well, are you 100% better now?
The damage has been done, but everything is functioning normally. So yeah, I'm going to say I'm at 100%. I'm also 10 years older than I was at that time. Yeah. And so, age has something to do with that. But no, I can do everything that I want to do, possibly physically. I spend a lot of time at the beach and in the Gulf and boating, and I'm active as I can be. I still like to work a little bit, not as much as I did, but thank you for asking. I would call myself 100%.
Yeah, well, we're happy to hear that.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure your daughters and your family are as well.
And
yes, we savor every day.
Now you're on the Golden Bachelorette. Would you have thought when you got diagnosed with 6 months to live that
it was not looking good?
Yeah. 4 years later, you're going to be popping out of a limo.
Who'd have thought?
Wow.
What a turnaround.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
amazing.
Okay, without spoiling, if you could describe the season in one word, what would it be?
Transformational.
Okay, I like that. All right, we're gonna play a quick game.
Okay.
It's just to get to know me with Dan. It's rapid fire. So first thing that comes to your head, I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions, and just answer them quickly. All right. Do you prefer cooking or ordering takeout?
Cooking for sure.
What's your go-to comfort movie or show?
I'm a Seinfeld fan.
Joe loves Seinfeld. We watch a lot of Seinfeld.
What's your you like Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay. What's your go-to? Yeah, the best. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Okay, so I would say Sitting at the Dock of the Bay. Sitting at the Dock of the Bay.
What's the best concert you've ever been to?
Wow, Gypsy Kings.
What's one thing you would tell your younger self?
Take better care of yourself.
What's your favorite way to spend a day off?
At the beach.
What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
I'm going to say surfing.
What's one food you cannot stand?
Boy, I like everything. There's some things I can't eat anymore. What I can stand? I like sushi, but I don't like sea urchin. How about that?
Yeah, that's
what
Keith. I think Keith
said the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, he said the exact same thing.
It's a texture thing. Do you really? That's funny.
Yeah, that's actually wild. What musician would you love to see live?
Wow, Carlos Santana.
What's an accomplishment you are very proud of?
Oh, my daughters are living accomplishments, and they did a lot of it on their own, but I'm very proud of them.
What is your go-to drink at a bar?
I don't drink at all anymore, so soda water with a lime.
What's a fun fact about you?
Oh, fun fact. I do like to sing, but not so much in public. So that's it.
Okay.
A shower singer.
Yeah, or in small company, small groups.
Well, there we go. Dan, thank you so much for taking the time.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
And talking to us. I'm assuming we're going to see more of you, and I can't wait to watch. And yeah, your story is very interesting. I feel like I could have asked. I have like 1,000 more questions to ask, but
I'll meet you at a Bears Chiefs game. Okay, we'll all tailgate, and then we'll talk about it.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that.
All right, deal.
And then to all our listeners, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Bachelor Happy Hour, and make sure you subscribe.
Thank you so much for listening. We have more recaps of Joan's season and exclusive interviews. Bye.